Today we're gonna do the best skincare of 2021. So what I originally had planned to do, you guys, was I was gonna do the top 21 of 2021, and I realized that this video would be like 2 hours long. I am a master esthetician in Portland, Oregon. I'm super excited that you're here. These are probably my favorite videos to do. I think I did 4 favorites video through the year of 2021, and this one is the hardest because I go through all of the months of the year and I pull all of the things that I think are the favorites of the favorites, and then I have to narrow it down. So today is truly the best of the best. I do hope that you will subscribe before you go. I hope you'll follow me over on Instagram. I will put the links in the description box. I share all kinds of skincare content there as well. So let's get into it, you guys. First thing first, this is probably gonna be a little bit of a surprise to some people, and that is Blumbody neck patches. The reason why I find these to be incredibly innovative is that with the purchase of the neck patches, you actually get this neck sling. Now, the reason why that even matters is because you can actually use your skincare with these patches. Typically, when you use a silicone neck patch or any silicone patch, you actually cannot use skincare or it will just come off. It'll start to just peel off. It doesn't stick to your skin, and it's not really supposed to stick to your skin. So by adding a neck sling, you can actually use the skincare, the serums, the hydrators, anything that you want. You put the neck patch on. I use it just over, I have 2 necklace lines, probably more than that now, but I have 2 that are really prominent that bother me, and that's the whole tech neck thing that a lot of us are experiencing in the last 2 years. And just, I think it's amplified because of so much Zoom calling, computer work, you know, looking at screens, all of that stuff. This helps to alleviate that issue. Why? Why does that work? Simply, it blocks that hydration from, you know, escaping your skin. And if you're able to put down, you know, hydrating serums or serums that have some kind of benefit skincare wise, it literally occludes that and forces the skin to kind of take it in. And I find that it's incredibly effective. Other thing that I think is pretty cool is by including the neck sling, these actually last a lot longer than they're supposed to. They last a lot longer. You can wash them and keep them, and it takes me a long time before I actually get a new one out. So that is my number 11. Next on the list is going to be a familiar one to a lot of you, and that is the Neova Silk Sheer. Now, this particular sunscreen is incredibly innovative because it uses not only sunscreen filters so that you can protect your skin from the sun, but it also uses DNA repair enzymes. Now, in the year 2021, it was the year of DNA repair enzymes for me personally, and I was down that rabbit hole for months and months and months and months. What studies have found is that sunscreen paired with DNA repair enzymes boosts your sun protection. So this is the best one that I have personally found. I've used several. I tested several out. This has a super duper sheer finish that is very, very skin-like. It's very wearable under makeup or alone. It is not matte, but it is not shiny. It is slightly tinted, but it doesn't have an opacity to it. So once you put it on the skin, it's kind of see-through, but the tint actually just removes the white cast. And to me, that is really great because none of us really want the white cast, right? So the color of this is relatively kind of a pale peach almost, but again, there's no opacity to it. So once it actually rubs in, all it is not white. At least in my experience. Now, obviously, I am like a Fitzpatrick 2 to 3, and it works really well. It just disappears. It is not something that gives me any color one way or the other, light or darker. And so for that, I think that it's quite versatile. I hope that maybe they would come out with one that maybe 2 more shades, which would be really great, because even though it's sheer, clearly there is no universal tint. That doesn't actually exist. There's not one color that would cover everyone, but it is a really, really great sunscreen that, again, I cannot see myself being without in 2022, and it employs those DNA repair enzymes. I'm going to link my DNA repair enzymes videos in the description box. I hope you'll check them out. They are some of my favorite videos that I did in 2021. I feel like they're some of the most important skin health videos of 2021. And this was one of my favorite products when it comes to DNA repair enzymes. Next up is a little bit more fun. It is the Ilia Serum Tint. Now listen, I know that this, after talking about, DNA repair enzymes and everything, seems a little bit fluffy, but this definitely kind of felt innovative to me this year. I wore it all year long. I went through 2 bottles of this, and if you've used this, you know that that's actually, that means I was using it a lot. Now what it is a serum that is a makeup slash skincare, because it's hydrating slash sun protection. So for me, this just imparted the most beautiful glow while also adding an extra layer of protection to my skin, and it wore and looked beautiful on my normal to dry skin. It's something that I reached for constantly. I gifted this. I recommended it to personal friends. It is just one of those things that when I think of 2021, I think of Ilia. The next one is my Honest Beauty Gel to Milk cleanser. The reason why this one made the list is because it changed the way I cleansed my skin. You guys know that for a long time I was doing double cleanse all the time, and I really thought that you needed to do the balm cleanser and then follow it up with some kind of water-based cleanser, and that was the only way I was going to get off all my sunscreen and my makeup and all of that stuff. This kind of changed my philosophy on that. I was able to do kind of a one and done when I wanted to. It also made for a really fantastic morning cleanser, but more than anything, I just love that you start out one way with a gel. I apply it to dry skin and I really just work it in to kind of start to break down some of the sunscreen and makeup and all of that stuff. And as soon as you add water, it literally turns in front of your eyes into a milk, and it rinses away perfectly clean, leaving you with just the soft, supple, really prepared skin for the rest of whatever you're going to do, whether that is more skincare and you're going to wear makeup, or if it's your nightly routine and you just want your skin to feel prepared, soft, and not stripped. Gorgeous. It is just a really gorgeous cleanser, and it is the cleanser of the year for me. Next is fulvic acid. Now I have 2 products, so they are the next 2 in line, and fulvic acid is something that I knew about it, but it wasn't exactly like on my radar big time. I knew about it from Truth Treatments because the Truth Treatments line has their tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate vitamin C, which is an oil-based vitamin C. And they have a fulvic acid product that you can pair together with that. Now, fulvic acid is essentially trace minerals. It comes from the degradation of plants. So it's the leftover stuff after the plants have essentially decayed. Now, when applied to skin, it can help with eczema. It can help with psoriasis. It can help with rosacea. It can help with inflammatory acne. It can help with atopic dermatitis. It is one of those things that is just really, really versatile and effective on any kind of inflammatory skin condition. If you get red and you get itchy, this can help soothe that kind of thing. If you have not tried fulvic acid and you do have any kind of eczema or rosacea or psoriasis, it's certainly worth giving it a shot. It's great at kind of transforming the texture of oil-based products so that they are more elegant. So that's why it's really great when it's paired with something like tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate, because that is very oily, and sometimes when you put it on, it can feel really oily and greasy and leave you with sort of a filmy mess. It feels gooey almost on your skin. Nobody wants that. When you combine fulvic acid together with it, it just transforms the texture of THD products. Now, it is, like I said, trace minerals. So in itself, it's really good for your skin. But when combined with other things, it helps those things penetrate better. So the first of the 2 products that are on this list are the Huminerals. This is the humic fulvic acid mineral. It's a spray. Now, this was actually recommended to me by my friend Andrew in my Facebook group. And immediately I picked it up because his recommendations are always like, he is so good. And so I picked it up and I ran with it. And then I was down the rabbit hole. You can use it along with things that require conductivity. So like when I am doing a microcurrent session, I can use my fulvic acid because the minerals can help to just aid in conductivity. It's really great for that as well. But honestly, It's just wonderful as a spray if the skin just needs some soothing and some, anti-inflammatory action right away in the moment. And then again, it pairs really, really well with vitamins and things that you want to penetrate a little bit better and do a little bit better of a job. Now, what followed was a search for everything Fulvic. I mean, I was seriously down the rabbit hole. And what that led me to was my Elemis Peptide 4000 flower mask. Now, the whole idea, the 4000 flower, the idea is, okay, 4,000 flowers decayed and you get the humus of them. And so you get this organic material that is the trace minerals. Okay, so that's in here. It's a black mask. Mine is incredibly, I don't even know how many tubes I've gone through. I use this at least weekly. Anytime I take a trip, if you've ever gone on vacation with me or I've met you for a trip, you guys know who you are. I always bring this. It is a hotel room staple. I find it to be a brightening, nourishing, just, retexturizing, because this mask also has lactic acid in it. So because it combines that lactic acid with the fulvic acid, which is not an exfoliating acid, it is an organic acid that is brightening, nourishing, anti-inflammatory, with that lactic acid, which is an alpha hydroxy acid that is a really big molecule that sits on the surface of the skin and does some really, really gentle exfoliation along with hydration. Those two together are just a recipe for really immediate brightening, refreshing, just texturizing, improvement in tone. I just love it. I absolutely love it. Now, I'm not telling you you're going to have a new face after you use this. I just know that when I use a mask, most typically, my favorite masks are hydrating masks, and I will look nicely hydrated, a little plumped, that kind of thing. This is one of the only masks I've ever used where I feel like I generally notice a brightening of my skin, a for real brightening. I definitely can tell the inflammation has come down. My skin just looks better after I've used it. I love it. I will not be without it. And I do think that Fulvic is one of those things we're going to hear more and more and more about. I think it's going to be the bandwagon of 2022. We saw it with the Inky List came out with a fulvic acid cleanser, which is actually really, really nice. It's got pieces of peat in it, which is fulvic acid essentially. The peat is the organic material that has a bunch of fulvic in it. And I think we're going to see more and more and more of that because it's a wonderful ingredient to have in a skincare product. The next one on my list, and I think we are to, let's see, I kept track here, you guys, number 5 on the list. This one is near and dear to my heart because this brand is one where I know the owner personally. I think she's absolutely amazing. She's an innovator. She is an incredible businesswoman and she knows her stuff. And in the year 2021, she came out with 2 additional products to her flagship product and knocked it out of the park. Now, this one is on this list because I love it, number 1. But number 2, I think that this is cutting edge and we are going to see a lot more of this in the future. And I will explain why. And it is the Maysama. This is her resurfacing toner. Now, it is called ABP 11 Plus. Green Rooibos Gentle Resurfacing Toner. Now, the reason why it's called that, ABP 11 Plus, is alpha, beta, and polyhydroxy acids, 11%. So she totals up her alpha hydroxy acids in here are lactic, 5%, favorite alpha hydroxy acid for me, because again, it is a hydrating large molecule that sits on the surface and gently turns over and kind of helps expedite exfoliation, leaving you with more of a hydrated, even tone and textured surface. Lactic has been a favorite of mine forever. Beta is salicylic acid. So you may know that if you're somebody who has congested pores, if you get blackheads, if you are someone who just battles kind of congestion in general, salicylic acid is the one that is able to kind of disencrust the pore, dip down, help to kind of eat away at the oily bits so that stuff that's stuck in your pores can actually come out, leaving you with a more refined canvas because you don't have a bunch of gunk left in your pores, right? That is salicylic acid. She has 1% in here. The reason why that's really nice is that's an effective amount, but it's going to stay gentle. And then finally, and what I think is the cutting edge part of this product, is the polyhydroxy acids that are in here. That's another 5%, and you will see that everywhere next year. I think that that is going to be the buzz of next year. I think, and I'm actually going to do a whole video on what I think is coming next year, but I think we're going to move away from the super duper harsh hardcore acids, and we're going to move more into the super duper effective polyhydroxy acids and enzymes that are going to respect the barrier but give really amazing results. That's what this does. She has combined the perfect cocktail of acids. Bev, the owner of this, actually has rosacea, and she developed this because she could not find a toner that would work and not inflame her rosacea, but she wanted that beautiful retexturized skin as well, so she just created it. Now, it also, of course, has her rooibos in here. That's her kind of flagship ingredient. That is a profound antioxidant. So that's in here as well. So you are not only getting those amazing acids that are super duper gentle, you're getting that antioxidant as well. This is cutting edge to me, and it is so good. And it is woman owned, woman started, badass. It's just amazing. I'm really proud to know her. This knocked it out of the park for sure. So that is my number 5, and that is Maysama ABP 11 Green Rooibos Gentle Resurfacing Toner. Next is going to be hypochlorous acid. If you've been here a little while, you guys know I talked about this, but this one to me is another subject that I want to shout from the rooftops that really became prevalent for me in 2021. This one is by Lumion, and this was my first foray into hypochlorous acid. Now, here's the deal. The reason why I think that this is 2021's star, one of them, is that hypochlorous acid is actually naturally found in our body, and it is incredible what it does. It actually searches out the pathogens and it destroys them. It essentially takes down the DNA so it can't replicate and keeps our body in shape. Now, on the surface of our skin, it actually can do the same thing. And what I found was it is one of those things that's super duper safe to use on your skin, safe for the air that we breathe, safe around pets, safe for teenagers. It's safe for everyone, but it is incredibly effective at getting rid of bacteria and viruses and even fungi on the surface of the skin. It is amazing to spray in a mask to keep you from getting maskne. It's fabulous if you have a teenager that has, a lot of oil production and just can't get ahead of their acne. Hypochlorous acid is absolutely one of those things that, if nothing else, I hope that this encourages you to go down that rabbit hole, because it is definitely, given the circumstances of the last couple of years, it is an ingredient to watch. It is an ingredient to have. I went so far in this last year to buy a kettle that I can make my own hypochlorous acid, and I would put it into a fogger and fog my house to ensure that the air is clean. And I got that idea actually from the doctor that I work with. She fogs in between her clients with her patients with hypochlorous acid to keep the office air as clean as possible for the next person walking in the door. That was like, wait a second, I just saw this. That's what you've been putting in that fogger? Like, the whole thing was like ting, 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 ting. It's just incredible, you guys. This is Lumion, like I said. This is a spray. This was the first one that I purchased myself. There are lots of versions of hypochlorous acid sprays. Then Lumion actually kind of made the innovation list because they have it in a serum. That to me takes it to a whole nother level. If you have a teenager or if you suffer from acne, this serum can actually help to get rid of that bacteria. It's antimicrobial. It's going to take down inflammation because it's antimicrobial. So it's one of those things that when I talk to somebody and they're just struggling with acne, I'm like, have you looked into hypochlorous acid? Anyway, so that is hypochlorous acid. Number 3, you guys, is going to be my UBeauty resurfacing compound. And I'm sure you guys knew that this one was coming on the list. So this was actually another recommendation from someone in my Facebook group, Sherry. I'm so thrilled that she mentioned, her words were in a thread. I'm just reading in my Facebook group. Her words were, oh, the only thing that I've tried, this was months ago. The only thing that I've tried that's really made a difference in my skin is the UBeauty Resurfacing Compound. And I was like, wait, what is that? And so of course I ordered it, and I don't even know how many of these I've gone through now. I've gone through several of them. I have purchased beauty boxes because it had this in it. I have sent this to friends. I have gifted this to people. I love it. The deal with it is a multitasker. So if I'm going to travel or anything like that, this is an easy grab because it essentially fulfills my antioxidant. It's got some hydration. The antioxidants in here are the top ones that I look for, like glutathione, and of course it has that stable version of vitamin C, zero irritation, and it imparts a beautiful glow. It also has some alpha hydroxy acids in there, so you get some gentle exfoliation, but again, super duper gentle, respecting the barrier, and no irritation whatsoever. A little bit of a glow. And I may rotate it as I try other things out, but this is a gem of a winner. So that is the UBeauty Resurfacing Compound. Okay, so the next three, I know that was number 3 because we have a tie for number 1. So that's cheating, I know, but it's my video, so that's what we're gonna do. Number 2 on this list, you guys, is gonna be the ZIIP. Now, this is a handheld microcurrent, and as soon as I got this, I knew right away when I started to use it that it was a winner because the app, and they've updated the app is even better than it was then. The app is so incredible. I love that it is so easy to use. You charge it once, it lasts forever. The conductivity gel that was created by Melanie is chock full of the most amazing ingredients, the things that you actually want to put on your skin when you do a microcurrent session, because you're driving some of those ingredients into your skin just a little bit with microcurrent. So you want to use things that are good for your skin. She created some conductivity gels that are like incredible skincare, right? And the fact that they are glycerin forward and you still get amazing conduction means that you use a certain amount on your skin and you don't keep reapplying and reapplying and reapplying. You don't even have to spray water if you don't want to. It just works so you can sit there and work your skin. It is portable, it's ergonomic, and that app makes it amazing. I use this typically for lymphatic drainage, but I absolutely love it when I want to pick me up. It's easy to use. She incorporates nano current in this. And, you know, microcurrent in general it doesn't have a ton of studies behind it or, you know, that kind of thing. It has a few base studies that everybody's gone off for years and years and years. But Melanie has harnessed something called nanocurrent. And after she's been working on clients for, I don't know, 20 years now, she knows that feeding the skin with this can help with the actual quality of the skin. It's just this long game for good skin health. And I think it's incredible. This is one of the things on this list that I actually had the opportunity to meet and talk with the designer, the owner, the innovator, who is also an esthetician, Melanie Simon. They call her the electric esthetician for a reason because she's obsessed with it. She knocked it out of the park with the follow-up to the device. So you don't just buy the device and then that's it. There's follow-through. How do you use it? Because she actually is an esthetician who cares about the results that people get after they do this, which is the follow through with the app. I just think it's amazing. So that is the ZIIP. That is number 2. Number 1 is a tie. I literally went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and I could not decide between these two which would be number 1. So the first of the two that we'll talk about is the Droplette. Okay, so what is this? What does it do? The entire premise of the Droplette is that it takes these little capsules that are full of cocktails of specific ingredients tailored to whatever you need. So for me, I choose the collagen capsule because it is full of things that are going to hydrate and really impart kind of glow and hydration and hopefully also help with my dynamic fine lines, etc. That's the one that I mostly choose, but there's also capsules that are retinol and there are capsules that are glycolic acid. So you take a capsule of choice, you put it in here and you use it. It essentially puts a propelled mist that has miniaturized those ingredients that would normally be a molecular size that would not penetrate very well into the skin. It takes them down in size and propels them at such a rate, employing physics, so that those things in that capsule are able to get into the skin instead of sit on the skin. Huge difference in efficacy. If you can get the key ingredients into the skin, past this fantastic barrier that we have that is there for a reason, then those ingredients may actually do more work, of course, than if they sat on the surface and maybe, got in just a little bit by way of just penetration. So it is essentially trying to take really, really good stuff and drive it into the skin in a super gentle way with big time science and innovation. That is what this is. This is another one that is cutting edge that I cannot wait to share all of the things that are coming in 2022 with this one. I mean, it is things that are going to blow your mind, and I'm just so excited. More to come for sure with the Droplette. Now, the other one that is also number one is going to be Photozyme. This one is definitely after my heart. It is DNA repair enzymes. If you missed my interview with Dr. Dan Yarosh, I interviewed him. He is the expert when it comes to DNA repair. He goes back decades in the research of DNA repair. My interview with him to me was enlightening, to say the least. And if you haven't caught that video and it looks like one of those that might be a little too sciencey for you, just put that aside and watch that video. He is the most charming, sparkling, he's absolutely just brilliant, but he's able to impart his knowledge in a way that every single one of us can completely understand and go, oh, I get that. It is worth the watch. But what is super, super cool about this is, for me, this is helpful for skin health, for preventing the progression of skin cancer. And when I originally started using DNA repair and studying it, it was definitely looking at hyperpigmentation. That's my biggest gripe, and that was what I was kind of thinking it would mostly help. As I studied it more and more and interviewed Dr. Yarosh a couple times, we talked, I realized this actually could have a profound effect for so many people who are predisposed to skin cancer, who have experienced skin cancer, because if you have experienced skin cancer, you have a 20% more likelihood of getting another skin cancer. Photozyme is the one. Now, this product in particular is their DNA Youth Recovery. This is the serum. I love this. This is face and neck for me, but there are a couple other products that to me are stars of the show. The body cream, absolutely incredible. The one place that I have had a pre-melanoma removed is on my leg. And at that time, I was in my 30s, I found out that that's a really common area for women to actually have skin cancers removed, is on our lower legs. And so to me, this is preventative. It's absolutely beautiful as far as being, like a moisturizer. It's not sticky. It's really, really pleasant to use. But more than anything, it is super duper important for, especially for women, as far as I'm concerned, on our extremities, where we maybe didn't pay as much attention to sunscreen, like our lower legs, when we were young. And that is the place where those skin cancers may be trying to pop up now. So DNA repair can really help with that. This is wonderful for that. Another brand where I have actually met in person the owners of this brand, and they are wonderful people. They're the kind of people that you're like, yeah, want to support these people and this particular kind of product. Not to mention, speaking to Dr. Dan, it really was like mind-blowing to me. So I really, really encourage you, if you have not caught that interview, please do check it out and share it with somebody who you think may really need that information, because to me it's critical. Okay, guys, Those are my top skincare and, you know, concepts slash products for 2021. Let me know if you can in the comment section, what was your number one thing you tried this year? Like the number one skincare thing that you tried this year. I would absolutely love to hear what you tried and what you love. There's some really amazing skincare innovations on the horizon for 2022. It's super duper exciting to be in the space right now. I cannot wait to share that with you. I'm so thankful that you're here with me today. I hope that you will subscribe before you go if you haven't already, and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.